For every child's right, dignity, education, and well-being. Hi everyone, I'm here again at the Leeds International, right at the principal's office. So today, we're going to look at the dignity part of Mr. Emmanuel's childhood. So he's going to share his own experience with us. So I want to know, as an adult, right, when was your dignity violated and supported?
Uh, Good morning, viewers. My name is Emmanuel Ali Laminkani, principal of Leeds International Junior Secondary School. Mr. Ibrahim, I want to say thank you very much. Intervention is highly needed. To start with, I came from a large family, and I lost my mom at an early age. According to stories from elder sisters, I was at around 1 year some month when the mother died. So I grew up with stepmothers. I was with stepmothers, and life was not easy. It was so much challenging by then. And, but I want to say thanks to my dad, my late dad, Alamina Kanu. May his gentle soul rest in peace. He introduced me to the things of God while I was a child. Whenever he asked services to render in church, he always goes with me. Coming to dignity aspect of life, I think when you are a child, more especially a vulnerable child, you will have to face a lot of intimidations. Some people are using this as an advantage that you are an marginalized child, so you have nobody to stand by you. Bullying will always be order of the day. With all the institutions I worked with, most of them, while I was growing up, I experienced a lot of discriminations, a lot of bullying, a lot of authoritative mindset coming from the leaders. Because as I say, I leave my home at a very young age because of pressure. It reaches to a point wherein I realized that the woman I was staying with is not my biological mother. She started recalling it, I'm not your mother, I'm not your mother. And I went to my home and asked my dad, who is my mother? The father said, you are staying with your mother. I said, no, she is not my mother. She has been saying it over and over. So that prompted me to make a decision. I said, no, let me live alone. Yes, I think that was one of the reasons I was receiving some insult towards my late mom. Yes, insults were coming, and I started visiting my biological sisters, same mom, same dad, trying to know the story. Yes, what is going on? What happened with our mom? And what I collected, I think it was not good. It is not a good thing to share either. It's not a good thing
Okay.
to share. Because my mother is alive as a result of my very self, according to stories.
If hold on, if you're not okay to share this, it's
Yes,
fine.
I don't want to go deeper onto that.
No
one.
problem at all.
But when I started visiting my elder sisters, I find out that after God, as a result of my very self, my mom lost her life. So the pain was too much for me, and I developed a determination that, okay, let me live alone. When I was alone, those that we are with me as bosses, we are also using that as an advantage. That this one has nobody, he has no father, no mother, so let's just use him the way we feel like using him. So sometimes I face a lot of unwanted situations, but just because that I made up my mind to succeed in that direction, I'll just let go certain things that comes my way. But dignity of vulnerable children is always at stake when it comes to life. Always at stake. And for a future generation like you, future mindset, I think you and your partners need to work effectively to identify those vulnerable learners, those vulnerable children in our community. They are facing a lot of humiliations because they can't do it to you. At the end of the day, they will say nothing will come out of it. But if there is an organization that will stand by the side of those vulnerable kids, those vulnerable learners, those vulnerable children of this nation, I think their dignities will be preserved. Yes. They cannot do it by themselves because I experience it. Unless you have to accept it. Because you have nowhere to complain. Nobody will be there to speak for you. Nobody will fight for you. But if you have an organization that will be patrolling to and fro the community, people are aware of it, I think they might be afraid of maltreating those kids.
You're right.
If not for the seed, I keep saying this, if not for the seed that my late father left with me, I would have gone astray, my brother. I would have gone astray. But it's just that there's a spirit in me that somewhat courageous. After serving God, maybe when I have challenges reading my Bible or whatever. But vulnerable children face a lot. And sometimes I was having a discussion in school leadership program with my colleagues. I said, what government and non-governmental organization needs to do for vulnerable children that will build their integrity is to offer subsidies towards those learners. When it comes to their meal time, their integrity has been misplaced. So many girl childs have been mistreated as a result of their vulnerable situations. You know, they have nothing. So anyone that comes their way and say, I will offer you this, I will give you this, they will just go in for it. When it comes to the boy child, drugs deals or whatever, you don't have options. You just do what will bring food on your table for the day. So government and human rights activists like you, I think you have to consider those type of children in our community and make sure you create a platform for them that will enable them to maintain their integrity, their dignity. It counts a lot because the dignity of a man makes up a man. When a man lost dignity, he lost everything. And if those factors that will be able to build up those dignities, I am speaking more for the vulnerable children, the fatherless, the motherless, because I experience it. I know what it means to live in a community where your mother is not around. Not talking of being dead for a couple of years. I know how it is. So it has to be a priority for organizations like you and the government to keep identifying them in schools, in communities, and make sure you monitor them. If that is happened, I think the dignity that we are trying to protect in these learners will be achieved.
Sure.
But outside that guiding factors, they will go astray because things are hard, life is difficult, challenges are many. So I am sending this message to you directly, Mr. CEO, and your partners, the government. If you have any link with them, tell them that based on your observations, interviews you have conducted, these are requests. What we went through, only the grace of God and the help. I even started dealing with drugs, those marijuana, because it has been our own farm culture in my village. So when I go home, my parents will say, we don't have anything unless we give you this one.
Wow.
Yes, as a student by then.
So,
as a student.
So there was nothing they could give to you, only the drug farm, like
the
say.
drugs, yes. When you go there and say, I don't have money, but I have this one. When you go and sell. And if you don't have any destiny helper around you, they will just accept. Because you know where you are coming from. And you know what it means. You know, I started doing it until a day at Jet Lane, a policeman was about to arrest me. By then, there is one ghetto up Jet Lane, closer to Brahma Lane. I went there with this marijuana, and I think from that day I made up my mind. I said, oh, if this man will have hold on me, who will save me? I will just have rot in jail. So all of those things, the reason why many children are putting their hands in drugs or in prostitutions is as a result of this suffering, this bullying. You see.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. This is a thought-provoking, information you have shared, and it's a call to action.
Yes.
Right? Because I can hear you, I feel you. Yes. So this is what we are working towards, trying to create a non-violent environment, a dignified environment, an environment that, cares about children's dignity, their rights, well-being, and of course, their overall development. So your recommendations are very powerful, and we're going to look into those recommendations. And of course, Future Leaders Initiative is going to work in partnership with Leeds International.
All right, thank you.
That's what we are going to do, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you, Mr. Emmanuel. So viewers, this is what we do. We go out, reach out to adults to share their own childhood experiences, and how we all should work together as people, as community, as countries. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you.
No, hit zone. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.